Before this video gets started, I just want to apologize for the way that I'm sounding. I'm feeling a little under the weather. It happens every year around this time. Whenever the weather changes, it hits me right in the sinuses, and sorry. An English pianist played by David Hemmings finds himself at the center of a series of brutal killings in Rome, landing him on the radar of the cops, a feisty reporter played by Daria Nicolodi, and the killer. When I think Giallo, the first movie that always comes to mind is Dario Argento's Deep Red. For me, Deep Red is the quintessential Italian Giallo, with all the trademarks that made that style so stylish. It's arguably Argento's best work in the genre, excluding Suspiria, which I don't consider a giallo. Argento's penchant for striking visuals, exciting camera work, intricately arranged murder set pieces, and brutality are on full display here, but turned up to 11. Argento also treats us to some legitimately tense moments here, moments that are punctuated by Goblin's moody and at times chaotic score. Argento's always been one to pay more attention to the aesthetics than, say, the performances of his actors or telling a cohesive story. But Deep Red sports both a compelling story and characters with depth. Both Hemmings and Nicolodi deliver fantastic performances, and their relationship, their clumsy little romance, is actually quite endearing. The movie has this wistful sense of humor when it comes to them, and their interactions are often pretty humorous. These moments are in stark contrast to the violence. When the killer isn't hacking up victims with a cleaver-like implement, they're drowning a woman in a bathtub of scorching water or force-feeding a guy the corner of a tabletop before sending him off to meet his maker at the end of a knife. The murder mystery elements are handled with Argento's usual flair, putting us, the audience, right into the shoes and the black-gloved hands of the killer with his use of POVs. The killer also has their own kind of soundtrack involving a creepy children's lullaby. There are so many memorable moments in Deep Red. We get an incredibly suspenseful scene that ends with only a door standing between Hemmings and his demise, a close call that the gravelly-voiced killer is quick to comment on through the door. Another sequence is sure to elicit a double take from first-timers, involving a creepy, cackling animatronic. If I wanted to be really picky, I'd say that there's at least a couple of sequences where a minute or two or three could be shaved off of it without compromising anything, and there are a couple of musical cues that are jarring, to say the least. Still, I hold Deep Red in the highest regard, and it's always at the top of my list whenever I'm asked for recommendations from giallo newbies. Deep Red is Argento at the height of his abilities as both a visual stylist and a storyteller. I can't recommend the film any higher. As far as this new 4K UHD from Arrow Video, Deep Red looks deeper and redder than ever before. The 4K UHD presentation is highly detailed, providing the image with both clarity and depth. The reds look really red here, and was it just me, or does the 4K UHD presentation make the blood look much better? Overall, I give the picture quality a solid 4.5 out of 5. Same thing with the audio quality. I thought Deep Red looked and sounded phenomenal on this 4K UHD release from Arrow Video. Let's take a look at the limited edition presentation here. We have this image on the cover. The cover has this flat, matte look about it, almost like the cover of a pulp novel or a giallo. I guess maybe that's what the designer was going for. I don't know. On the slip, we have the plot synopsis, the list of limited edition extras and accoutrements, the technical specs, and so on. Beneath the slip, we have this image. Here is the case. One disc for the original version and one disc for the export version. The sleeve is reversible, and on the reverse of the sleeve, we have the original poster artwork for Deep Red. Included with this limited edition, we get 6 postcard-sized lobby card reproductions, We get a fold-out double-sided poster featuring original and newly commissioned artwork by Obviously Creative. We get an illustrated collector's booklet featuring writings on the film by Alan Jones and Mikhail J. Koven, and a new essay by Rachel Nisbet. As far as extras are concerned, on Disc 1, which houses the original version of Deep Red, clocking in at 127 minutes in length, first up we have Deep Into the Red, a 2018 interview with Dario Argento, and an archival interview with actress Daria Nicolodi. It's 57 minutes and 40 seconds in length. Argento discusses the genesis of Deep Red, developing the story with co-writer Bernardino Zapponi, and writing the screenplay. Nicolodi discusses how perfect the script was, her character, and her relationship with Dario at the time. Argento discusses the shooting locations, the art design, the cast. Argento standing in for the killer, donning the black gloves, and getting his hands dirty. Argento discusses the success of Deep Red, how the film is still reaching people today, and much more. Next, we have The Media More Black, a 2018 interview with actress Maka Miril. It's 20 minutes and 55 seconds in length. She discusses her character's demise in the film and how it was shot, working with Dario Argento, his attention to detail, how closely he worked with her, and more. Next, we have 16 Years in Red, a 2018 interview with production manager Angelo Iacone. It's 46 minutes and 31 seconds in length. Mr. Iacone discusses first meeting and instantly hitting it off with Dario Argento, the beginnings of their 16 years of working together. He discusses working with Argento on Deep Red, being integral to his hooking up with Daria Nicolodi, the shooting locations, the score, Deep Red's legacy, and more. Next, we have Carlo Never Dies, a 2018 interview with actor Gabriel Lavia. It's 15 minutes and 32 seconds in length. Mr. Lavia discusses working on a television series during the day and shooting Deep Red at night. He discusses working with Dario Argento and David Hemmings. He discusses his character's demise, and more. Next, we have I Am the Screaming Child, a 2018 interview with actor Jacopo Mariani. It's 7 minutes and 43 seconds in length. Mr. Mariani discusses getting cast in Deep Red, Dario Argento being like a second father to him, following up Deep Red with a much larger role in Suspiria, and more. Next, we have Bloodstained, a 2018 interview with actor Lino Cappuccio, Argento's first choice for the role of Marcus Daly. It's 5 minutes and 28 seconds in length. He tells the story of how a nearly fatal car accident cost him the lead role in Deep Red. We get trailers and image galleries and 2 audio commentaries, the first with Troy Howarth and Nathaniel Thompson, and the second with Thomas Rostock. On Disc 2, which houses the export version of Deep Red, which clocks in at 105 minutes in length. First up, we have Profondo Giallo, a visual essay by Michael McKenzie featuring an in-depth appreciation of Deep Red, its themes, and its legacy. It's 32 minutes and 57 seconds in length. Next, we have the 2011 introduction by Claudio Simonetti. Next, we have Profondo Rosso, From Celluloid to Shop, a tour of the Profondo Rosso shop in Rome with longtime Argento collaborator Luigi Cozzi. It's 14 minutes and 28 seconds in length. Mr. Cozzi discusses being a collector of horror and sci-fi items and how it was Argento's idea to open the Profondo Rosso shop and museum, and asked Cozzi to run it for him. Cozzi guides us on a tour of the museum, pointing out all the props there from films like Phenomena, Opera, The Stendhal Syndrome, Demons 2, Two Evil Eyes, and more. Next, we have Rosso Recollections, in which Dario Argento discusses his most celebrated giallo. It's 12 minutes and 24 seconds in length. Next, we have The Lady in Red, an interview with actress Daria Nicolodi. It's 18 minutes and 45 seconds in length. She discusses loving the script for Deep Red, her character not being the typical role for women in Italian cinema at the time, and working with David Hemmings. She discusses audience reactions to Deep Red, the film's success, and more. Next, we have Music to Murder For, an interview with Goblin's Claudio Simonetti. It's 14 minutes and 5 seconds in length. Simonetti discusses first meeting Dario Argento and the kind of music he wanted for Deep Red. He discusses the artist that inspired Goblin's sound, the success of the soundtrack, his love for the film, and more. And we also get the U.S. trailer. Overall, this is an absolutely gorgeous, loaded to the gills, limited edition 4K UHD release for Dario Argento's Deep Red from the fine folks over at Arrow Video. The film looks absolutely fantastic in 4K. We have an enormous amount of extras on here and all sorts of other accoutrements inside this limited edition release. If you are a fan of Deep Red, this is the release to own. Let me know your thoughts on Deep Red down in the comments section below. Where does it rank in Dario Argento's body of work, in his filmography? Where do you rank Deep Red? Is it at the top? Is it in the middle? Is it at the bottom? It's definitely not at the bottom. I know that, but let me know where you rank Deep Red among all of Dario Argento's phenomenal giallo films. If you've already picked up this 4K UHD release from Arrow Video, please let me know your thoughts on it also. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up and share it on social media. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. A huge shout out to all my patrons and channel members. I appreciate your generosity and support of my channel. Become a patron today and join me for exclusive live streams, get early access to videos, and have a say in what movies I review on my channel. Become a channel member and get access to exclusive badges and emotes to use when I stream. Links are in the description. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.